Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. What really is obviously always here. And it doesn't mean a here in location or in time. It is uncatchable by nature. So, in time, we may have the experience of it's everywhere. And if we put a belief in it, it is nowhere. And if you think it's nowhere, it is everywhere. It is uncatchable by nature. You are it, and that's why it cannot be objectified. But as we have been bathing in beliefs from birth, we think that only with thinking or sensing or feeling we can catch even the depth or the most sublime of humankind. And we always come to the point of a non-accomplishment, a deep feeling of absence or separation. From where? From what's real, from our real nature. So, the real contentment, fulfillment, which stops the search and the seeker to be taken for real, is only when one finally doesn't play with his mind regarding this. So realization of the self is not an accomplishment, it's already here. It's just to click to the fact that one has not to use all the tools he has got through birth, the birth. In that way it is said, it's unborn. Who you really are is unborn. It doesn't depend on even a birth or a death or on a realization. It doesn't depend on anybody. That's why to wake up to one's real nature doesn't belong to anybody. There is no Superman here or superwoman. There is no spiritual hero here. What a peace and what a relief. You cannot lose it. You can never lose it. And it can never be gained. So that's what endlessly, finally, endlessly what is indicated in satsang and in the scriptures regarding the subject, the sacred scriptures, as it is said. To inspire the one who has this unique search. Who am I in reality? Who am I? And that is uttered when one has got enough experiences of the world, or at least in an unexplainable manner. Even young, one may have this sudden, profound seeking. Ben voilà. I guess you come with a liking to hear something more, or a doubt that you want to be freed of, or a question that is abiding in you repetitively. Please take this opportunity. Because already to come together for this purpose is really stealing a time, stealing a moment of this looking like continuous life for something else. That something else is what one is. So take benefit of that. We never know when we will burn with this guts to hear. To hear, don't search. It's not anywhere. And even for that, you have to question the searcher, the one who searches. Is there anybody there? The answer will be in the no answer. Finally, relieved from answers. I'm very happy to see all of you. What made you come? It's okay. It's okay. What do you want to hear that you have not heard yet? Huh? You know the whole thing. You know the whole thing. So what's missing?
Ganga, can I ask?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Hi, what's your name?
Marcus. Marcus.
Oh.
That's okay. No German name. So, for me, the seeking started really with glimpses.
Directly?
Well, after about a month of meditation.
Okay.
Well, at first I didn't know that there were glimpses, but then I sort of figured it out. And then for quite a while, I had this idea that I had to do something to return, so to speak, into
to go
a pipe.
back there.
Yes. And it seems to me that's subsiding recently. So it's becoming more and more clear that it's really ever present.
So you have not to return to anything?
Well, but it seems less and less effort is seems required, and there's something of a sort of an invitation. I don't know, I picked that word up somewhere, but it seems fitting that more and more it feels like I just, just like this.
Just like this. You don't
Yes.
need effort to do just
Yes.
like this.
Yes.
Yes. So you are right. Don't make any effort. Then you will not feel that it's not there, or it's suddenly there and then again it's not there.
But somehow a notion remains that some big event still has to happen to finish it all off. That's really the one thing.
Yeah.
It's not something that really occupies me, but I have this idea that
Yeah.
this process of stabilization, that's what it looks like, has to end in something. But that's sort of really that marks the end of it.
It will end when you don't keep that concept as real.
Right.
Just now. Because you see, every time you go in your mind with some interest or some curiosity, you feed this person who by luck had some glimpses but went back to the mind sometimes. Because he didn't see that to go, you see, glimpses is what? It's a moment when you don't grasp your mind. So it becomes glimpse because you grasp again your mind, not having heard enough probably, that then you feed, I am someone to whom it happened. So drop those ideas, and when the mind appears, let it appear, no problem, but you don't need to grasp what is comments, which will always be black and white. Or I lost it, or I got it. You see? Or, as you say, it makes a story. Less and less I need efforts too. They are stories. If you don't end up this because you suddenly are struck that only makes you delay. So be struck by that. It's enough. The mind will never stop commenting. It may stop at some point or not. This is not the problem.
I find it sort of a real longing just to really know the truth. It's even stronger than the longing to end the suffering. The suffering is almost gone. It just doesn't really matter anymore. There's somehow this idea that I don't fully know the truth. Yes.
Where did you go now again?
Yes.
As simple as that. That's why it is said at times to wake up that, oh, I'm again in this habit to feed my mind, then there will be no end. Even if you got the most deep and strong glimpses, it will not end. Hi. Oh, is Lilith?
Tomorrow she'll come. She's so happy to see you.
Oh la la! I get married or what? I didn't know. It's wonderful.
Once you gave me one rose, you remember?
Yes.
This is my answer. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to see you.
I've seen you on YouTube. It was a very good idea. Very good idea
Yeah.
to put this on YouTube. Finally, very good.
All those YouTubes.
No, this is just the few days I did not think on you all these 8 years. You understand? I have been. You're always
I
in
don't
my
know
heart.
if it
It's
doesn't
just-
matter if I
yeah,
don't
whatever.
understand, but it's. It's okay. So maybe somebody else is getting married. Or... So don't hesitate if you would like to share something, because silence, you see, is always available. Of course, satsang offers that space also. But don't worry, if one speaks in satsang, if it comes from the mind, it will be erased. And if it doesn't come from the mind, it becomes beautiful. So, you are not obliged to observe silence, that's what I mean. Silence is always there. It's a way to describe what you are, but it's an indication to tell that the mind is not busy here.
Ganga.
Yes, hi.
Hello. Just want to say it's very, very nice to be here and see you again. So, last year. So, yeah. So.
How did you behave all this year?
I quit my job and then got a bit broke.
But you're very happy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to meet you. And it's been so. I come and I had this glimpse or something, and met you, and it is very both. Somewhere this is always here, and at the same time, sometimes the body mind arises, and also I get hooked up, and it becomes some kind of fight in it.
Yeah, you can't be hooked without fight. If you know that it's not your real nature which is hooked, but only, as you say very well, it's this body-mind, don't fight.
Yeah, and I try to learn it, because I see the fight is also, first comes the body-mind arising, and then comes the fight arising, also body-mind arising, fighting inside.
This is already too much.
All
of
right.
You see, don't forget you are that which is aware. And now you may be just aware of nothing, so you don't even know if it is awareness or not, and you don't care about that. And when you are aware of something, you are the awareness. And the off of something, it will be belonging or happening to the body-mind. So you never lose yourself.
Yeah.
Ganga,
Hi.
I'm struggling often with the mind, and I promise myself not to listen anymore. And I must have some belief. Some belief that it will stop one day.
That's the problem here.
Yeah. Is it really enough when you see it happen?
Can you control the mind? Can you control this mind?
No, I can't.
You can't.
Very right.
Yeah, you can't.
But I
So
know
the
I'm not-
problem is not that the I or the mind appears.
Yeah.
The problem is to take it for real, for your real nature.
Yeah. So it's enough when I realize in
Tell
the
me.
moment.
Tell me, is it enough?
It must be enough. That's the only thing left.
Is the only thing left. All the rest comes and goes and leave you. So just fall in love with self-love, with what always is left. You see, when I say stop, I often speak, stop the mind. In fact, I may not be well understood sometimes. Sometimes it works very well, sometimes it may not. It depends who is hearing that at that time. I don't mean stop the mind. It's impossible to stop the flow of the Ganga. I mean, could you? Stop the waves to rise in the ocean, can you? You can't. Stop to take whatever appears to be yourself. That is the thing. Yeah. No, I think you heard well. Yeah? Yeah.
I just feel I have to talk.
Yeah, please. Talk.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to talk.
Maybe I understand everything. It's funny to talk.
Okay, you understand everything.
Yeah, what you told me recently.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah, just the practicing it's not easy.
To practice what?
to, I don't know.
It's not easy if you don't know what you practice. Tell
No,
me what.
this is my state now, how I
Yeah.
talk to you. I mean,
What is not easy? Tell me.
my mind is so crowded. It always projects things out. And after it's projected, I see it. I can see it and I can tell it was not true. But
Yeah.
it's not that at that moment when it's happening.
Don't you think it is at that moment when you suddenly see it, it's not it? Huh?
Yeah, but I spend a little time with my mind and then I see.
Why? The moment you say it's not it, you don't go in your memory. You just say it's not it. And your but, it's when you go back to your memory. And it will never be there. I mean, you will never... what I wanted to say? I didn't want to say that. You have not to go to the concept that the mind will never reappear. And what is the mind? Troubles. Good and bad.
Yeah.
I call it trouble.
But the life is also a trouble. No,
Life is the mind.
life is the mind.
It is a quality glued to someone. I am born, so I have a life. All those conclusions, you see, and so I will die. That is the conclusion of the birth.
Yeah. You know, my life, it's very nice. I mean, a lot of things happening with me, which is very new and
Yeah.
nice. But I don't feel anything.
Yeah. But don't depend only on the nice things of the life, because you know very well it goes on changing, and especially when you don't expect it. So that's a beautiful gift. Try to see whose life. Whose life. And then you can take the life as a gift. Very good. Nice to see you. Something changed.
Good to see you.
Oh, this is our friend here. Yeah. You know. What happened to you? Can I share your laughter? Huh? Attila.
He was asking if you were asking him.
Ah, yeah, because my eyes
Yes.
went through. He's so transparent. You know, he's sunyata. It's empty. So, can I ask you, hi? What do you want?
Better if nothing.
Better
If I
if...
don't want anything.
Yeah, better, but What do you want? Yeah, that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And why do you have this preference of nothing?
Most úgy érzem, hogy nagyon meg kell dolgoztatni az elmémet, hogy valami értelmeset.
You see, the nothing was just. Yes?
No, I feel that I really have to hardly work to make my mind working for.
No. You just
Say
laugh
something.
then. Just laugh. It's very good.
Okay.
Yes. You have heard that 100 times?
Yes.
Only?
Only.
Okay. And there is still something obscure or?
No.
No.
Curiosity.
To hear something new? Or to hear again what you know?
No, curiosity to maybe hear the share of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And you want to share something?
For the moment, no.
Whenever.
Thank you.
You changed?
My hair.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. That's all. Yeah, Robin. Hi. What's your song today?
My
Song.
I try to remind myself I am that, but sometimes
That's
I
how.
cannot trust in it.
You don't trust.
Pardon?
You don't. I hope that you say sometimes I forget, but you don't trust that. You say I don't trust that sometimes, or you forget sometimes.
He forgot.
Translation in Ungari.
Nem értettem egészen.
Ahogy azt kérdeztem, hogy néha megfelelkezem róla, vagy pedig
And trust.
bízol benne.
But not. Sometimes I cannot trust in it.
So who speaks at that time? The one who doesn't trust. What does he listen to then? You understood well?
No.
Yes.
What doesn't?
When you don't trust,
Yes.
you trust what at that time? What do you listen at that time?
My mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you trust your mind? Huh?
I don't want to trust in my mind.
Why don't you say simply, I am that? And whenever there is some experience coming, you know it is the mind. And that is enough. You are not what you know. You are not what you experience or feel. It's just an appearance and a disappearance. Mm? You see, we have this concept deeply rooted that enlightenment, self-realization, liberation, all this, the real nature, we will click to, whatever. Somehow, it is accompanied with the concept that then the mind will not appear, or if it appears, it will be only blissful, or whatever, you see. Some concepts are glued to it. And that is a poison. So that is not liberation. Liberation is just to try to convey. It's a way to teach, to convey that you are not this mind. Free yourself to believe you are this mind. So why should you want that the mind should appear this way or that way after liberation? Or even a bit before, that would be better. Because then it happens to somebody. So to give up hopes, preferences about it should be like this or like that, to be able, just for a split second, said my master, it's a way to say that it's not in time and yet wake up to it. Without using the objectifying tools that I used generally.
Ez volt a legnehezebb lenyelnem, hogy is ugyanolyan bolond maradok, mint maradtam, hogy ne semmit nem változtam el a szintjén.
Since we met, what is the hardest to digest, that probably I will remain the same foolish guy with this bad mind.
But only your mind sees that. I see a marvelous blossomed self. What are you speaking? And then whatever appears from there is beautiful. Even if it is funny, even if it is different, even if it is this and that. We can make a deal. I can borrow you my vision of you. Or land, what do you say, land or borrow?
Land.
Huh?
Means you want to give
Yeah.
you land.
Land, sorry.
Or
Land.
sell.
yeah, just the contrary. Of course. To make it very understandable.
Hi.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
question too.
Yeah, please.
I've got an autoimmune disease, which on one hand has been the best thing in my life because it brought me to this.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for it on the one
Yeah.
hand. And on the other hand, it's my biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Because when these symptoms come and they come back again and again,
Mm-hmm.
every time I have to fight all these feelings that come, like despair and frustration. And then somehow the attention gets drawn into the body again,
Yeah.
and I can't get over this feeling that I'm trapped in this body. So somehow it has such a pull, and I need some advice for these, let's say, emergency situations. When
You see, when you are extremely thirsty, you know the way. You know there is an instinct which brings you somewhere where to find something. In the same way, you speak of emergency. When you are in emergency, it's the perfect moment that many may not even have. The perfect moment to ask. All this happens to I. Who am I? And know that the answer to this question, it's when it fades away. And you just abide there. It's your own self. It's what's real. And all the rest which appears will be very clear. It's from there. It's even this body, the story of this body, it's from there and comes and goes. And that will ruin in a natural way the so-called power that you may feel you are trapped in the body. That will ruin it. No other efforts. You see? Great. Yeah.
So thank you for the letters which you sent me.
Yeah.
In the last, you mentioned I should, instead of focusing on suffering, I should rather focus on the non-ending love of my real self. That was the sentence which I hold it since you sent this letter for me.
Yeah.
It was I should say, my everyday sadhana. It was the stick.
But I just lost the stick.
But
means you release the stick.
If
you say but...
No, I would like to ask you to show me this, because I can't imagine what you were writing me.
I don't remember what I wrote to you.
Show me this love.
This I cannot. It is called love because it cannot be felt and seen and known. You are it. But you see, we have this unhappy habit to always rely on feelings of love, on this and that. We depend on things which appear and disappear, and it will make us suffer. So you may not even call it love. It has no description. But it provokes love, it creates love, sometimes this way, sometimes that way. To depend, you see, is the really unhappy, wrong habit of the human being, because he has not heard something else. And that is due to the belief, I am born. I am born, and all the experiences depend on this I. While, in fact, this I is already an expression, means I am, I sense my existence, I'm born. It's already an expression. So as my ancestor Nisargadatta Maharaj said, prior to any appearance, and I is an appearance, I utter it. It's an appearance. What happens prior? And you have not to go prior. You are prior. The rest is a step further. You see, instead of always finally telling, go back to the source and this and that, I think it's better once for all, you are it. You have not to go anywhere. You are it. And know that if you somehow believe, oh, I'm not it, I experience this, know that this is a step from where you are, but a step too much if you take this step for real. And when it's no more a problem, when the problem vanished, because obviously this is the fact, then everything is that. But before, you have not to confuse the expression from it. So you have not to go anywhere. Even to the source is complicated. You don't imagine a source. You are it. This, what you cannot lose, which is never absent, but the mind cannot grasp it because the mind objectifies. It is his role. This is, you cannot lose it. And if you know that the rest is just an appearance, a disappearance and all that, then you just keep quiet, no? I don't know how to express it. You just abide, non-abide, you see the words, but whatever. I don't care, abide in yourself, which means absolutely no abidance, but we can speak also, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Will identification with the body still come and go during everyday activities, or can that drop completely at some point?
The question of identification drops. Do your things, forget. like to see, do we see still the world after, and so it just drops. Those questions drops. That's what we do all our life. Fine? You are fine?
I'm what?
Simply fine. Are you?
I don't...
You don't...
I don't know how to...
It's okay. You want to know, or you don't want to know what's going on? Okay. So
I mean, the mind doesn't want to know, and I'm so identified with this part.
Okay.
And then I don't...
To know what? We speak about which subject? Okay.
So the parts of the mind that parts that I don't know, want to go out and do stupid things and
because of what? What do you prefer? What do you prefer than to go and not to go and do stupid things?
Of course I prefer not to go into stupid things, but...
So, what is your interest?
Maybe different. I don't know.
Try to be a bit clearer.
Huh?
Try to be a bit clearer.
Yes.
Huh? You try, yeah?
Yeah.
Whenever you tell me.
So I'm troubled with the bad parts of the mind, like the evil things, like when I feel like through me attacks come to other people.
Oh, those are beliefs.
It's
not true, they are beliefs.
Yeah, but it's like, maybe not true, but it's very tangible, like everywhere.
Because you believe in it. Because you believe in it.
How to see something as an illusion that's like everywhere. Like all I see, all I feel, all I think, or...
No, you will not see that all is an illusion before you just keep quiet in your real self. Don't try to see everything as an illusion. It's not possible. Because you use your senses and all, and they are taken for real. So everything else looks like real. Don't try this way. It's of no use. No use. You lose your time, your energy. It's dead end. Yes. Better to ask to whom this happens. from where this eye comes. And keep quiet there. Just a second. Just keep quiet where the question disappears. That will do the job. How can you think it's an illusion when you feel and you think even you are a body-mind? It's not an illusion. Not a body-mind. So what do you want? What do you really want?
Peace.
Okay? That is the way to peace. Because you see, we say peace because one is no more tyrannized by his mind.
What?
Tyrannized by the mind. Or mastered by the mind. Yes, but this is the way. Find out what is the subject of this whole thing. Instead of being busy in trying not to go to that dark part of this or that, these are happenings to somebody. Try to see all these stories. It's because there is somebody, I, the one I think I am. And that at some point, once you really see everything comes from this I, that I think I am, or I feel I am, or I sense I am, then one day you may even ask, but who am I? Which doesn't land. It starts from the mind, who am I? But it lands from where the mind arose. It lands prior to the mind. It's the only question which is like that. All the rest will give you some objective answer which will go on changing according to your maturity. Of no use. It looks you understand.
Huh?
It looks you understand a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You cannot deny.
No.
Okay.
But this fight, I don't know how to.
You go again to the story.
Yes, that's the problem.
Okay. Go back. Go back. It's not interesting. How many times you will go to that? I am myself totally exhausted to hear it once. Imagine.
So not at all? So
No, sorry,
No, I have to reply to her. No, I have to reply to her. I'll come to you after. Please.
I forgot.
I just wanted your answer. You told once you can lie to your mind.
You?
Lie to your mind.
Lie to your mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if she will like it. Where are we?
Do you? So sometimes, no, I don't know. Because as soon as I look into something, my mind starts putting up any.
But I know. That's why I don't do that anymore. For at least give you once a day, just a moment not to go there. It will give you much more fire, love, and strength not to like anymore all that stuff. One second a day. 24 hours, 23 hours, 99 would say my master. I always love it. 99 seconds. 1 second you dedicate not to go there.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. But you see,
But it was an answering side.
no, I mean, there is no teaching, so things may not be the same sometimes. Sometimes they are repeated 100 times. But
No, it was an
it's fresh. It's fresh. I cannot repeat something I remember. That will help you.
Yeah, but this is an answer to me.
It's okay. You see, the question is not that I am delivering a menu I ate to you. I'm not delivering a menu that I ate to you. I am not throwing it. It's fresh. It's alive. Sometimes takes the shape of the same, sometimes not. Mhm. Yeah.
Is it just a concept? If something happening with me, but it causes shame, for example, and then I told myself it's happened and it doesn't matter. And is it just a concept or it's a good?
It's a quality you put on yourself. And after shame it will be pride or whatever. I mean, you know, it's just a quality. When you see, as soon as I utter a quality that I put on me, there is a magic, then you identify. And this is the suffering.
And I am not identified really, it just happened. But it maybe it's a concept.
Then there was no question. Happiness. It's just happened. I think there is no much trace of it. It just
Yeah, that
happens.
maybe all of what I have in my mind is just a very big and difficult concept.
And you speak too much.
Yeah.
This is too much stuff. One at a time. Otherwise, it's like you bring a full package. You don't need to live always with your mind. The mind is a wonderful appearance of yourself and is just responding, reacting, whatever word, to circumstances. But you are not obliged to live all the time with the function of your mind. It doesn't give happiness. So
But now, for example, so I cannot make a difference between my mind is working now or not, because I don't know. I don't know. Now I can't make a difference, maybe because you are here.
you are in your mind.
Yeah, maybe.
Not maybe. You are in your mind.
Yes. But I think, but there was a thought about this whole thing, this mind, this all is my mind. So it's a very big, I have a very big ego. I thought yes, because I thought that this all is the mind.
And why not is all the self?
Because the mind and the self is the same.
Oh. No, it's too much confusion.
Yeah.
I think you have to forget
Everything.
But, tabula rasa. It's okay, tabula rasa. Means better to, after all, to come back. I don't know than what I know.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. I like it. The mind doesn't know. It's true. We will never know.
Mm-hmm.
The mind comments. I don't know. It's not the truth because it's the mind which speaks. But at least he bows down a bit and can admit. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. And this corner, how is this corner then? You're well? Yeah, for example. Yeah? Oh, good to know. And over there? Good? You have not to tell anything? Anyone. Not obliged. If you have nothing to tell, what a luck. But maybe you have also something to say. No?
In your presence, it's so easy to be. But I know, coming home, resistance is coming up again. The mind is strong.
The mind is strong?
Yeah.
It's an idea. Never forget that. Yeah. Don't keep it. Don't keep it. You don't need to keep it. If it appears okay, but don't feed it. Don't go all the way.
So don't go after it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
But be aware that thoughts, they go on changing all the time. So, what is this which is aware? What is it? There is no mental answer about it. But there is a definitive answer when the mind surrenders, bows down. I don't know how to express that, but when the mind admits its total defeat. That's the answer.
I long for that, but
Please?
I long for that, I hope for that.
Yes, great, you're lucky. But don't put it into a delay, too much delay. At least give yourself the last delay is I have to realize what this longing offers me, at least this life, before I die.
I think I have to die before.
No, it's up to you. It can be now. But some, for a while, they prefer the longing. Because it's an experience. Oh, I can remain the experience. Oh, that's so good. Path. Next is suffering. But this is an attachment, huh? Or an ignorance of what is the mind also. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's also some unfinished business, but I'm still thinking what to say and what to come up with.
Yeah, maybe there is nothing else anymore, nothing anymore.
There are still some doubts.
Tell me one.
I mean, yes, how to make a long story short.
No, tell me the doubt. The doubt.
Something has to be different in experience. But then again, I can say what is the self must be something that is not appearing, so it cannot just...
What did you say? What is the self is something not appearing, yeah?
Yes.
Right?
So it means then what I'm waiting for.
No, so it means it cannot be an experience.
Yes.
So it's no use of waiting that it is different.
Yes.
Okay.
Because maybe I'm referring to glimpse, where...
It was still an experience, you see,
yes.
the glimpse. You made it so. You made it so.
Yeah, because at this time I didn't know that I was looking for this.
Okay.
And so I listened again out of habit to the mind.
Yes, okay.
And I'm waiting for that it becomes highlighted again, like when I
No, you have just to see that whatever comes in whatever shape is the mind.
Yes.
And in the glimpse you must have seen I'm not the mind. Otherwise it's not called a glimpse.
Well, the experience was I asked myself, what is it that I'm in a satsang?
Yeah.
What is it that I'm overlooking all my life?
Yeah.
Which I have not seen before, and then I saw just the isness, I would call it, isness.
A business?
Isness?
Isness, sorry. Business. Business is good, it's good. Okay.
So not the things, the appearance,
Yeah,
but
okay.
the isness
Okay.
It was very beautiful, but then we're not looking for that, so the deceiving was working very well still.
Yeah, okay. You see, don't try to go back to easiness because you will be very busy and it's of no use. Because who tells you that is that? Also. It's an experience of another kind, but it's not also easiness or not easiness. Huh? We don't know what it is.
Yes.
Okay, but the difference is that not knowing, you finally are at peace because you have somehow radically understood that the mind cannot enter here.
Yeah.
And that gives simply the peace you were longing for.
I mean, I already see this more and more.
Yeah.
But still, there's. I mean, I became very arrogant. I created a very arrogant.
You got it somehow.
Yeah, no, because of all the knowledge, you gather
Yeah.
in
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it took a while to see this because I didn't want to see it. No.
Sure, but you
Yeah.
did. You do.
Yes.
I'm very happy for you.
Yes. More
So, what is the problem now?
Um,
Like that. Like
Ganga,
yeah.
I'm so happy to see you again.
Me
It has
too.
been too long.
You're well now?
Extremely well now. I see you again. And I realized, but it's. I realized that the last months
Yeah.
I put in a condition to I was busy with doubting about the conditions which are the best to realize. Quitting my job and quitting my marriage and moving to Portugal. I made myself crazy.
Yeah.
I really made myself crazy.
The mind presented
And
anything.
it's like
There are no conditions. It's always now.
yeah. It's doing me very well to be in your company. It's doing very well.
Sure. It's wise. What's the time? 8:13. This room is free in time. Yes.
How can we totally know that we are the self?
Attends, how can I?
How can I totally know that I'm the self? Like,
It reveals itself. Don't worry.
but
There will be no but. But I hear you, yeah. What do you want to know?
for me there was always a but. There's
Yeah, that's why we come to satsang. To remove the but.
it doesn't go.
Huh?
It doesn't go.
It doesn't work.
It just doesn't go.
Yeah, but you like that it goes or you like to keep it? Don't answer immediately, no, I want that it goes. Because you see, the mind knows very well. What does it mean but? It's the gateway to the mind. It will never like to shake him itself.
What?
The mind itself doesn't want to question itself. Unless there is this fire for freedom. This fire. I will not take the but. It is there. I am not going to take it. Like that. Okay.
How was it for you?
Like that. I must say it took me time to really see that it was only that had to be done, actually. But it doesn't matter. We take time to spot the mind, you see. Of course, 90% of the mind, okay, it's easy to see, more or less. But the one who sees it, he doesn't know it's the mind. So that may take some time. But you cannot keep that concept also, otherwise you will never make it. So it's just now. It will always be now. Because in fact, try to hear, you are never absent. The self, or what is real, what allows this, what the substratum sometimes it is told, is never absent. And that is our real nature. All the rest is appearing.
Would you say that practicing the now is good, or it's
I don't know what do you mean by practicing. Now it is now. It's just now.
To focus
on
the present moment and try to.
How can you focus on the present moment? It is said now, when you don't focus anymore on anything that the mind presents. That's the now.
Ganga.
Where you.
Who am I question? When I'm aware that I'm not this body, my body triggers so much struggling and shaking.
Doesn't matter.
And doesn't matter. And I'm going further and further and asking, who am I? My mind starts to give a lot of thinking, for example, imaginations. And
Don't look,
projections.
don't look. Continue.
But then...
What? But it's also a platform. Yeah, you see, you don't spot what is the mind. If you spot, then it's over. So try to be vigilant about that, because all what you say, okay, what a luck you have, somehow you take the question, who am I? But then you are busy with what the mind presents, and it will present itself very strongly. Let it be in the body, let it be in the imagination, all what you say, right, it can be. But don't forget, you want to be freed. And it's not that the mind will free you in being, ah la la, so peaceful and so happy and whatnot, or even not there. No. It's when you are no more curious to look at the mind. Whatever it does, let him in dancing, let him whatever. Huh? But for that, I repeat, you really need this priority. I want to free myself. It is enough. It is enough. This enough has to be like the petrol in the fire.
And how can I know that if something appears that it's just again the mind?
Because you hear it again and again. Whatever appears is the mind. It's not this. Whatever, there is no exceptions. What's your argument now?
Yeah, maybe I was watching and listening to my satsangs because now just...
To my satsang?
Yeah.
Which one? You satsang? You give satsang?
No, listening and watching your satsang.
Okay. And what did I say?
And about I don't know how to explain. I observe the things, and I observe also myself, and it can be seen. Then I know that it's mine, but just try to get who am I, and
not like that. Not like that. First of all, can you ask this question? Let's take this moment. Who am I? To ask this question, to be able to ask this question, what do you have to give up? What do you leave behind? Necessarily, otherwise you cannot ask this question, or you ask like a parrot or another information, oh, that question exists. But if you ask this question, you have to leave the mind behind. Otherwise you cannot ask. You can't. It means you don't ask. You have the information maybe, which is already wonderful. But there is a difference between having an information and swallow the pill.
maybe I stopped before that moment.
Not
Always.
maybe, of course you do. So don't stop at any answer of the mind or anything that the mind presents or suggests. Even if it is I got it, I'm free. You don't look at it. It's a thought. Yeah? Okay?